Sometimes I have to say my words out word by word, syllable by syllable, just so I can make sure I am pronouncing them correctly. I don't know. Just so I won't annoy myself when I'm rewatching this stream later. Just verifying quality and whatnot. Seeing what I can do to make this better. So, I know that we're a little bit early. I mean, I always start a little bit early. Yeah. But anyway. Is anyone here yet? I have to tell people that I'm on. I know I'm a little later than usual. For anyone that doesn't follow my Instagram, which I noticed that the link wasn't working a little earlier. For anyone that doesn't follow my Instagram and is apparently using notifications, yeah, I'm starting a little later than usual. I'm gonna tell them that I'm live. So yeah, we're probably gonna be going for an hour as usual. I wonder how I'm gonna start. I don't know. There we go. Let's send that in. And Yep. So yeah, I'm just starting a little later than usual today. I just got caught up with other things at home that I could not avoid. So, but we're here now. And that's pretty neat. And now it is time, so I don't know. I guess we'll talk for a little bit. How are you guys today? I hope you're doing well. I have been doing pretty well. I just realized I did not turn on the music. Just a second. I think I just ended the stream by accident. Let me do a double check on that. Yeah, no, we're good. Alright. Should I turn on the music? I mean, I don't know. I probably should. But anyway. We'll just get a few minutes in. And then we can start talking about this character here, whom I've been working on for a little bit. I only have a few layers, you know? Just a few. This is a pretty neat shield. I'm pretty happy about this shield. It's a pretty cool shield. But yeah, I've been working on this for, I think about, I don't know how long I've been working on this character for right now. But I've been talking about their lore a lot. You know, yesterday I was talking with a friend about a lot of the character details, personality traits of this character, right? Like their moral stance and their relation with the other characters on the DreamSMP, which is, you know, what this whole thing is about. Like the reason we do like the reason I'm doing the DreamSMP-sona thing is because I saw that people like on Instagram and on Twitter were talking about it, and I'm like, huh, that's pretty neat. Like, I had made this character already for a Minecraft server, but now this version of them is specifically in regards to the DreamSMP, right? I don't know if you guys have ever watched the DreamSMP. I don't even know. I imagine you've heard of them at least, because they trend like once a month on Twitter. Like, it's quite silly. It's quite fun. But, you know, it's not much. It's just, yeah. So, yeah, basically, this character is just self-insert, you know? I've been making a lot of notes and lots of character details in the meantime. So, yeah, now that we've had a few minutes in, I guess we can start talking about some of the details. So, this character's name, their name is Ember, you know, because that's basically my name. And that's just, you know, self-inserts. Self-insert character, right? So, basically, their role in the DreamSMP universe would basically be to be a wandering observer of sorts. They don't necessarily interact with people on the DreamSMP very often, but they do observe them a lot, right? So, that's basically their role. They just keep track of what's going on the DreamSMP. And they used to hang out with Ghostbear a lot, but the character, Ghostbear, he kind of died, so that's a little awkward. That's a little bit awkward. So now they're currently just in that state of, I guess, mourning. I'm not sure what to work on first right now. I guess I could work on shading. Maybe I could work on designing the, wait a minute, let me just put this down here. Let me put this down here. Let's do that. Let's make this little box right here. Basically, yeah, that's just what they do. They just watch people. You know, they do some casual people watching. You know, not stalking, people watching. Like artists do sometimes. They just casually watch people from a distance, seeing what's going on, discovering lots and lots of secrets. You know, they know a lot more than they should know, and that's not good. That's not good for them. And because it puts them at risk, you know, makes them a target for certain unsavory folk such as Quackity and whoever else has secrets, I guess. But the thing is that most people don't even know that they exist. They don't interact with people, as I said, right? And so it really does make an opportunity for many very awkward interactions with other characters on the DreamSMP. And, you know, other original characters that were created for, like, the DreamSMP-sona challenge. That's pretty fun to think about, right? Because most of their interactions start off with, you know, how did you get here? What are you doing here? I think that's really funny. Just, you know, you have this, you're just alone in the woods, and suddenly you realize that there's a pair of red eyes looking at you in the distance, and, you know, usually that might not be something you would notice, because they would be way off in the distance, but sometimes when you're just feeling a little bit paranoid, and you don't exactly want to have anyone finding out your secrets, you tend to be a tiny bit more attentive about things like that. So, yeah, Ember, they get a lot of very awkward confrontations, if they ever happen, you know? Because sometimes, usually they're very good at hiding, but every once in a while they just get a little too close, or they slip up, or they break a branch or something, you know? Things like that. Tiny mistakes, right? Milo Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong, and at the worst time. That is something that affects them relatively often. But again, people just don't know them at all, because they don't go out of their way to interact with people. The only person that they've interacted with, the only character that they've interacted with, is Ghostbur. And the only other person that I imagine that they would interact with for now would be Charlie Slimesicle. I mean, people that they would actively talk to often is what I mean, right? They do interact with other people sometimes, such as, Rambu, you know, because he has his secrets. He has very interesting things to hide, right? So they want to know more about that. They want to know more about what's going on with Rambu and his Ender Walk. And they just follow him around sometimes, very secretively. So that's fun. This character has been very fun to figure out, in the time that I've been working on them. And I've had a lot of fun writing them. Just, let me see how this looks. Right. Sure, that's fine. This is fine. Alright, let me erase this. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. So, yeah, they've been really fun to figure out. I feel like they would have, like, a lot of potential for, not only for comedic purposes, of course, but also for, like, you know, intense lore moments, right? Since they know so much, they would be able to reveal a lot to other people, right? They know secrets ranging from whatever the heck Quackity is doing with the people that he's manipulating, to just small snippets of what Carl has been doing with the whole time traveling thing. And they just have a lot of that intel, right? They can't be bought out, though. Like, you can't buy them out. You can't buy their intel, right? they can't be sold out. Because they just do it just cuz, right? They only do it out of curiosity, and they know that a lot of this information would be dangerous if it were to go out, you know? So they just keep it secret. They just keep those secrets safe. And also because they have secrets that would put them into danger if they were to get out, right? Like, as in, they know certain things that they shouldn't know that would probably not end well if other people knew that they knew about those things, right? So yeah. They don't exactly trust people that much sometimes, right? They'll just, yeah, they'll evaluate people based on the people that they know, based on what they've done throughout the Dream SMP. So, like, there are people that they do trust more than others, and there are people that they would be more likely to approach, right? Let me take a look at this again. Let's see. Okay. So, say if they had to, like, choose sides, they would be able to. But they usually don't. They just try to figure out what's going on, just because there's a lot going on the Dream SMP right now. So, at least as far as I know, they would probably know as much as I know, and as much as they can know. So, like, say things like specific events, such as the fact that Quackity went to see Ghost Schlatt in his secret gym underground, and this is not right. Oh, right, I have to turn off the alpha lock. Like, and what Carl is actually doing with, like, the whole time traveling thing. Like, they don't actually know that he's time traveling. They just know that he's doing something, and that something seems to be causing him to lose his memory, and that's not a good thing. You know, that's not a very nice thing to be happening to someone. To just, yeah. So that's basically their whole thing, right? They would probably know things that would risk other people's lives as well, so they do kind of carry that small bit of weight on them whenever they just think about all the things that they know, right? For example, let's say they would know that Carl is losing his memory, but they wouldn't tell Quackity, and they wouldn't tell the others, just because it would raise questions towards them, right? This is not right. Let me just make this lighter. It would be risky for them to reveal what they know, right? And even though they want to be able to help these people to, you know, get through their issues, right? Because the reason Quackity has started going down his whole villain arc, at least that I interpret, the main reason that I think he started going down his villain arc is because he just felt abandoned by the people that he trusted. He was gonna make a country, he was gonna make Las Nevadas with Carl and with Sapnap and George, I think it was. I'm pretty sure. But they just left him in the dust, at least as far as he knows. He just felt abandoned, right? So, yeah. That's a little sucky for him. And I think it's gonna end in his death. I'm pretty sure. But yeah. This character carries a lot of, like, guilt with them, you know? A lot of what ifs, right? A lot of what if I had told them that this was what was happening, right? Just, like, what if they had appeared sooner on the SMP and found out about what was happening to Tommy with Dream, right? Because that was around the time that they appeared, you know, when Tommy had been exiled, when Ghostbur appeared, after Lamamberg, around that time. Somewhere around that whole mess, that's when they just appeared one day, right? And It's just something that kind of troubles them, right? But they don't talk about it. They don't talk to people. They just hang around and keep watching people and keep doing their thing. They don't take notes or anything. They just try and remember everything that they keep track of. They have much better memory than I do, right? Which is funny. Okay? If anything, they'll make notes that are like one letter, just one letter notes. Like, say, whenever they're gonna talk about quackity, they'll write a big Q. Quite literally, just a Q. That's not the right brush. Just a Q, Maybe a Q with an underline on it, just to signify that it's a character, or I don't know. Let me try that. Big Q, QB. Right? So that would be quackity, right? If they were to write notes on quackity in their, say, book or notebook or whatever. Did I mention that you guys can write questions in the chat if you're curious about anything? I just, I think I forgot to mention that. It's just that I just realized that I've been rambling for a couple of minutes, and I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew about that, right? So, yeah. They're pretty fun. They're pretty fun. They don't trust a lot of people. The only person that they kind of talk to right now, as of now, is Charlie Slimesicle, just because he just so happens to have pretty much the same role that they have, but Charlie's not exactly good at keeping secrets, and that's not great, but it is pretty funny, right? It was just a weird coincidence that this happened, because I've been working on this character since before Charlie appeared and became significant to the plot. So that's a funny coincidence, right? Let me erase this layer real quick. Boop, 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 boop. I don't need this anymore. There we go. Yeah. So, let's see. Say that they probably know about things like Rambu's secret lab and his experiments on himself to find out what is happening with the Enderwalk. They would probably be hesitant to actually try and approach him about that kind of thing, because he's clearly like very touchy about it. I don't know how to describe it. He's very secretive. He just keeps that's like his secret, like the one secret that he keeps, right? Let me find out what layer this is on. It's gotta be above this. Is it on the line art layer? Is it on here? He's just very adamant about keeping that particular secret. And, they understand that feeling completely. So, they just keep their distance, at least for now, right? Wrong layer. Wrong layer! They're just keeping their distance and probably might intervene if anything were to go out of hand in his case, right? Which I assume wouldn't be very hard for that to happen, based on the way that things are going, right? Let's just move this up here with the rest of the notes. Boo, 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 boo. Notes. Right up there. I assume it wouldn't be very hard for something like that to happen, for Rambu to, lose himself or something. Because that's basically what the whole Enderwalk thing is at all, right? He goes into a state in which he just does things, and he doesn't remember what he did. Right? So, it wouldn't surprise me if something really bad were to happen because of that. Right? So, they're just there to make sure that nothing goes too wrong while he's doing his thing, his little experiments, his little doodads and such, his journey in self-discovery, right? You just don't intervene with that kind of thing. Plus, again, it would be very awkward if Ranbu were to find out that someone else was aware of what he was doing, right? Just like any other thing that this character just so happens to know about. Right? Yeah. I can hide this layer now. I think I can actually merge these, which is good, because I want to get rid of more layers. I have too many layers on this thing already. Is someone here? Give me a moment.